Once upon a time, in a quiet village nestled between rolling green hills and ancient forests, there lived a young boy named Aaron. Aaron was like any other child in some ways, curious, full of energy, and eager to explore the world. But unlike those around him, Aaron felt a constant tug inside his heart, a whisper that told him he was meant for something more, something different from what everyone else seemed to expect. In Arun's village, the path to success was laid out clearly and firmly by generations before him. The villagers prized certain professions: doctors, engineers, teachers. Arun's father, a respected doctor, wanted nothing more than for his son to follow in his footsteps. His mother, a schoolteacher, echoed the same wishes. From the time Arun was old enough to hold a pencil, his days were filled with lessons, books, and stories about famous doctors who saved lives and brought pride to their families. But Arun's heart beat to a different rhythm. While he respected his parents' wishes and admired their dedication, he found himself drawn to a tiny shed at the back of their house. Inside, among dusty boxes and old tools, Arun nurtured a secret passion. He loved to paint. With a handful of brushes and scraps of canvas, he would lose himself in swirling colors and endless possibilities. Each painting told a story, one that only Aaron could see until he brought it to life. Despite this passion, Aaron felt trapped. At school, he was always compared to his classmates, many of whom also prepared for the same careers. Teachers would praise students who excelled in math and science, urging the others to follow their lead. Arun's paintings, when discovered accidentally, were met with polite smiles, but gentle reminders to focus on his studies. "Art is a nice hobby, Arun," his father would say, "but you need to think about your future." Months turned into years. Arun grew more skilled with his brushes, but the weight of expectations grew heavier. He tried to silence the voice inside and focus on his studies, but he found himself restless and unhappy. He watched as his friends, too, chased dreams that were not truly their own. Some did it to please their parents, some because they feared disappointing their teachers, and some simply because they didn't know any other way. One rainy afternoon, as Aaron sat in the shed, contemplating the path ahead, an old man appeared at the door. He was a traveler, weary from his journey, seeking shelter from the storm. Arun welcomed him in and offered him tea. The old man noticed the paintings scattered around and picked one up, studying it intently. "These are beautiful," he said, his eyes twinkling. "Who painted them?" Arun blushed. "I did, but it's just a hobby. My parents want me to be a doctor." The old man nodded, understandingly. "Tell me, Aaron, do you paint because someone told you to, or because it makes your heart sing?" Miss. Arun hesitated, surprised by the question. "I paint because I love it. When I paint, I feel alive, like I can create anything I imagine." The old man smiled gently. "Let me tell you a story, Aaron. When I was young, I too was expected to follow a certain path. My father was a farmer, and he wanted me to tend the land. But my heart belonged to stories. I wanted to be a storyteller. For years, I tried to be what others wanted, but I was never truly happy until I found the courage to follow my own dream. It was not easy. People doubted me, and I doubted myself. But every story I told lit a spark in someone's heart. That is how I found my purpose." He placed the painting down and looked Aaron in the eyes. "You see, life is not about chasing the dreams of others. If you do, you will always feel like a shadow, never fully alive. Your happiness, your success, your fulfillment, all of it depends on honoring the voice within you. One story, one decision, can change your path forever." The rain stopped, and the old man prepared to leave, but his words lingered in the air long after he was gone. Aaron sat in silence, holding his paintbrush. He realized that, all along, he had been living someone else's story, not his own. That night, Aaron spoke to his parents. He told them about his passion for painting, about the joy it brought him, and the dreams he held in his heart. At first, they were hesitant. They worried for his future, afraid he might struggle or fail. But Aaron's honesty and determination touched them deeply. "We only wanted what we thought was best for you," his father said quietly. But perhaps it's time for you to decide what is best for yourself. With their blessing, Aaron pursued his art with newfound courage. He studied, practiced, and poured his soul into every painting. He met other artists, shared his work at exhibitions, and slowly built a life that was true to himself. There were challenges and setbacks, but Arun never wavered. He knew now that success was not measured by titles or wealth, but by the happiness he found in doing what he loved. Years later, when Arun's art was celebrated both within and beyond his village, he returned to his old school to share his story. He spoke to the children about the importance of listening to their own hearts, about the dangers of chasing others' dreams at the expense of their own. He reminded them that every person's journey is unique, and that the world needs people who are brave enough to follow their own path. Arun's story became a beacon for others, proof that one story, one moment of courage, can change everything. The village began to embrace new dreams, new passions, and a new understanding that happiness is found not in imitation, but in authenticity. So, remember Aaron's journey. When you feel lost or pressured to be someone you are not, pause and listen to the voice inside. Your dreams are valid, your story matters. Do not chase the happiness that belongs to someone else. Forge your own path, honor your own passions, and trust that in doing so, you will find a life filled with purpose, joy, and meaning. One story, yours, can change the world.